Welcome to Lehigh Valley TV. I'm Liz Keptner.
And I'm Paul Luongo. We're hanging out at Corked Wine Bar and Steakhouse on Main Street in Bethlehem.
The Christmas city, well known for its Moravian history.
Which we have a lot of in the valley.
Yes, we do. In today's episode, we'll take you to Nazareth to see the oldest collection of artifacts regarding Moravian history.
We'll play some guitar.
And do some car racing.
Yes, and from Nazareth, we'll race over to Easton and tour Weyerbacher Brewery.
Weyerbacher manufactures its entire product in the city of Easton. And believe it or not, the entire Lehigh Valley is booming with manufacturing.
Sure is. See for yourself as we explore what makes manufacturing in the valley a piece of cake. Well done.
Cake already?
Yeah, man. My job sucks.
You're watching Lehigh Valley TV. Best air guitar that we got.
What if programming existed to showcase all there is to experience in the valley, and it was entertaining too? We'll show you our region like you've never seen it before, with people you may not know who call it their home.
Hey, Mario. Think I could take a ride?
I don't think so.
The grass is not always green around the other side of the fence. We've got it all right here in the valley. It's time that everybody finds out. We're changing local TV as you know it. While we inform, we'll never forget to captivate. We'll tell the inspiring stories of the valley the way they should be told.
The valley is my home, the place where I was grown.
Hey kids, would you like to smell the smelly bacon t-shirt? No? Guys, come back. I'm Matt Province with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, and you're hitting a home run with LehighValleyTV.com.
Everything Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh Valley TV.
LehighValleyTV.com.
Hey, come here. Come on, smell the bacon.
Gotta get home to the valley.
Just 4 miles north of Bethlehem and 7 miles northwest of Easton sits the small town of Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Nazareth was founded by Moravian immigrants in 1740 and has grown to become a place that many call home. The instruments of Nazareth are the woodwork on which this small town has grown and flourished.
We explore the history of Nazareth, tying together the tunes of guitars and cars to today's current Nazareth life. It is sure to be a ride that we won't soon forget.
When it comes to Nazareth history, nobody does it better than the Moravian Historical Society.
We caught up with Craig Atwood, their president, to find out more.
Craig, thank you so much for joining us. Yes. This is where Nazareth started, right, Craig?
Absolutely, right in this very spot. The Moravians finished it around 1748. This little part of Nazareth has actually been connected to a global network.
Oh my goodness.
And in our collection, we've got things they've sent back from all these wonderful
I've noticed that the collection in the museum, which we're standing in now, we've got pieces from all over the world.
Yeah.
And a large collection of musical instruments.
Moravians have always been famous for music. The first performance of Haydn's Creation Symphony in North America was done by the Moravians. And they made musical instruments. Here in this room we have clavichords. The other room we have one of 10 surviving organs from the colonial period. Here we have the oldest violin made in America, made by John Antes. This is one of the gems of our collection.
Do not try playing this, Paul, okay? Stay away from that.
This one you cannot touch.
I'm actually nervous standing this close to it.
What amazes me with our collection is the diversity of instruments we have. You know, these Moravians were here in Nazareth, were making this, and this is one of the reasons why Martin came to Nazareth.
Well, if we can't take this bad boy out of the case, we should probably head over to Martin Guitar.
I can't think of a better place to go from here. Absolutely. Craig, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
We'll be back.
I hope so. There's a lot more to talk about.
The music of Nazareth expands far beyond historic Moravian instruments.
Martin Guitar has been an obvious staple to Nazareth and its history.
Martin owned a shop in New York City for 6 years near the mouth of the Holland Tunnel. One day, a friend invited Martin and his wife to Nazareth. well, they fell in love with the town and decided to call it home.
And home it has been to C.F. Martin and Company since 1838.
We stopped by the Martin Guitar Factory and met up with Dick Boak, Director of Museum Archives and Special Projects. Well, anyone who is anybody in the music industry probably has a Martin guitar, or at least wants one.
At least wants one is
I was
right.
gonna say. And did you know that Martin is headquartered right here in Nazareth?
It's an amazing story.
Absolutely.
You have stayed here in Nazareth. It's like family, isn't it?
One of the reasons why Martin guitars are special, it's the people. It's the people's hands. It's a handmade product. We have technology, but it's a beautiful technology marriage with hand craftsmanship. And being a Germanic area, the German precision is unparalleled. Chris Martin likes to say that we're always striving to make the perfect guitar. And every customer that we have believes that they have it.
Of course they do. Who are some of these musicians that play the Martin guitars?
Well, the museum is filled with them. The Beatles, of course, went to India with 2 Martin guitars and wrote 42 songs that became the White Album, Abbey Road, and Let It Be, your favorite Beatles songs. Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Neil Young, Hank Williams, Tom Petty, John Mayer, Eric Clapton.
Many of these artists come right here to Nazareth to have their guitars made custom for them, is that correct?
The employees go nuts. It's autograph time. Paul Simon came here, and I was so worried that he would get accosted with too many autographs requests that I told the employees, please don't ask for autographs. So everybody was being very cordial to him, and 2/3 of the way through, he turned to me and he said, don't they know who I am?
I feel like it's almost sacrilege to hold a Martin guitar if you don't know how to play it. You have that.
No, that's
you sure?
not the truth.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Frank Henry Martin said that nobody has ever suffered from having a better guitar.
Okay.
This is D45 from 1942, and often referred to as the Holy Grail of guitars. And let me just play a chord for you. So this has warmth. Warmth would be bass response, but it also has treble response.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. And I think the best way to end this segment, best air guitar that we got.
Best air guitar pose?
Yep.
You got it.
So, Paul, this is the last interview, and I think that we should put a wager on this one.
Does this wager have anything to do with the fact that we're holding crash helmets and looking at go-karts?
Yes, and the winner gets to interview the man, the myth, the legend himself.
And the loser has to buy ice cream at Emily's. Deal? All right, deal.
What is wrong with you?
I'm doing my slow-mo. Duh. No? I don't know.
First person to finish 2 laps wins.
Eat my dust, Paul. You're going down, Paul.
All right, Liz. I got you now, Liz.
I want to to take this opportunity to thank Mario Andretti for joining us today. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to beat Liz in a race to interview you today. So. Your family came over from Italy, ended up here in Nazareth. Why Nazareth?
My dad was asked by our Uncle Tony here.
Now, your Uncle Tony was here.
Uncle Tony was here. We arrived here on a Thursday, and immediately saw these lights, big bright lights, and a huge roar of engines. We just bolted down there, which was about maybe a mile or so, and we peeked through the fence and, oh gosh, and we looked at each other and we said, you know what, America may not be bad after all. You know, so.
Just by pure fate, you ended up in Nazareth in an earshot of the Nazareth Speedway.
That's where my career began. Nazareth, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm thankful for every day, that I just liked what I had here. And then as life goes on, you raise your children, and great schools here. Plus, you know, I come here from the hustle and bustle. I come here and I rest.
It's nice to be home.
Replenish my spirit, you know, so why Nazareth? You know why? Because I like it. I just love to come back home, and this is home, and that's enough for me.
Hey Mario, think I could take a ride?
I don't think so.
Really? Liz, I felt really bad obliterating you on the racetrack, so I picked up these flowers from Michael Lim's florist right here in Nazareth for you.
Well, thank you for the flowers, and I will get you next time, believe me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks anyway for these, they're gorgeous. And Nazareth is gorgeous as well. What a gem of a town.
From the Moravian Historical Society to the Nazareth Center for the Arts, Nazareth has everything.
We've covered so much, but there's even more to explore. You got Pizza Joe's, Nazareth Diner.
The homemade mozzarella and ricotta cheese at Calandra's, out of this world.
It really is amazing. Also amazing if you have a sweet tooth, Schubert's Bakery, Cozy Cakes, and Emily's Ice Cream.
Yeah, speaking of Emily's Ice Cream, I think you owe me a scoop.
I do. It's time for me to pay up. Ice cream on me.
I think I'm going to get 2 scoops, Liz.
Oh, Paul. So, Paul, if you had to choose on a hot day between ice cream or an ice cold beer, what would you pick?
Why can't I have both?
Coming up next, George and Katie went on a tour of Weyerbacher Brewery with Lehigh Valley Visions vying for a glass.
Welcome to this episode of Lehigh Valley Visions. I'm your host, George Wacker, with co-host Katie Berger. We're here at Weyerbacher Brewing Company in Easton, Pennsylvania. We're going to show you what makes it so great and why you should visit.
While George and I are here today at Weyerbacher, we're going to have a little bit of a competition to see who can get the best selfie here in the brewery. And Chris is going to be the judge of who has the best shot. And the loser has to buy the winner a beer.
Yeah!
Things just got serious. Wilson, who's the head brewer here at Weyerbacher. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about what makes Weyerbacher so special in the region here?
We've been brewing bold, eclectic beers in Easton, Pennsylvania for 20 years now. So we brew beers like Merry Monks and Blithering Idiot, beers that really are emblematic of what we do here. All the Weyerbacher beer that you find is made right here in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
We're here at the new brew house. You can tell us a little bit about what goes on in here?
There's 7 tanks in total, 2 are just water tanks. The process really starts in the mash tun, where we take the cracked malt and mix it with water. So we can mash in 2,700 pounds in about 18 minutes. This is step 2 in the lauter. So that whole tank, the lauter ton, is to separate that sweet liquid called wort, leaving behind the spent grain. That goes and feeds some cows, so we make cows happy. So we take that sweet wort, we pass it into the third vessel, which is called the wort receiver. That's all it is. It's a tank that receives the wort and heats it up. Once it reaches near boiling, we'll pass it to the boiling kettle. It's just a series of pipes which are heated with steam. That allows us to boil off any volatile compounds that we don't want in the beer and concentrates the wort to the gravity that we're looking for. Then we put it in this tank, which is a whirlpool, and then we're able to draw off the side through these little tubes here. We'll draw a clear, hot wort, put it in the tank at 70 degrees, and we let the yeast do its magic.
So now that we've moved over to this side of the brewery, can you tell us a little bit about what these tanks are behind us and what's happening in the process now?
When the wort left the brew house, we put it in here at about 70 degrees. So inside these tanks is where the wort comes in, mixes with the yeast. The yeast will actually ferment, produces the 2 great things that we want from a beer, which is alcohol and carbonation, so CO2 production.
How long is that fermentation process?
It's about 5 to 7 days for primary fermentation, so that's when the yeast and sugar's doing its job. And then we cool it down to about 30 degrees and let the yeast drop out, and that'll take about 2 weeks total.
Cool.
So we're here in the packaging area now. Can you tell us how many bottles you can produce in 1 hour here on the line?
On the line behind me here, we can do about 6,000 bottles per hour, and that equates to about 250 cases. It's a decent amount of beer, and that's all on our 12-ounce filler.
What other sizes do you fill here at Weyerbacher?
Yeah, most of our beer is on the 12-ounce, and we do a small amount of beer on a 750 milliliter cork and cage bottle, so that's the champagne style.
Is it safe to say that, Easton Water and Weyerbacher, I mean, those are definitely something that they go hand in hand together?
Absolutely. We're a true Easton company.
Chris, thank you so much for showing us around. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Chris, the most important part of our day today is who is our winner of our selfie contest?
All right, let's see. Stopping our guy working. Let's see, that's all right. He did get the horse's head on that one. That's all right. All right, that's halfway decent. That's a nice picture. Oh, that's a handsome young man right there. Nice. Katie's the winner.
Woo!
Your prize. All right, cheers to the winner.
Cheers. Thank you. Remember, you guys can come out here to Weyerbacher Brewing Company, have a tour, and have a taste of some of the beers they have on tap.
Welcome back to Lehigh Valley TV.
Lehigh Valley is the fastest growing region in the state.
That's right, Liz. And as you'll see next, everybody wants this area to thrive.
Manufacturing is alive and well here in North America, and especially here in the Lehigh Valley.
When I look at the Lehigh Valley GDP and the percentage of manufacturing, it's one of the highest in the nation and growing.
The infrastructure is here to support whatever size business that you are.
We're able to produce and respond to unforecasted demand for products because we manufacture here.
It's steep in heritage of steel and manufacturing, and that is the type of DNA that we need to build Mack Trucks. What I see is a very industrial and job-focused local community and government that has really stepped forward.
I've lived in 6 different states, many different locations, and this is the first place I could say that I've seen that type of culture where everybody wants this area to thrive.
They made the process very easy to move a company into the area.
We've just been so lucky to be able to be here, to have access to the people, and the people are what make it go.
Our business is centered on people, and that is really what drives our business results.
One of the largest pools of talent we get come from the local colleges and universities. Engineers that are coming into a product design and development area or engineering services area. We've got talent that comes into our marketing team from a variety of the schools here. So we definitely leverage the opportunity to pull some of the top talent right here in our backyard.
At the same time, I think the best benefit that we give as a company is the opportunity to have our manufacturing workforce further their education. Those great universities supply that capability. More than 60% of the products we make globally are produced here in the Lehigh Valley. We've chosen to set up shop here because of the road networks as a start, the access that trucks and warehouses have to the entire United States is phenomenal. We export everything out of Port Newark, and it's a very efficient process. It is 1 hour away, so when we have imports that are time sensitive to our customers, we know they can be unloaded and they can be brought here very efficiently by truck.
We are shipping product to Italy, France, Sweden, China, Singapore, Mexico, Canada, Brazil. For us, has been very easy.
We're a global business, and infrastructure allows us to support construction around the world.
One of the benefits of being here in the Lehigh Valley is the fact that we have an international airport. We have a sales force all over the world, but we're able to bring them back in here right through the Lehigh Valley Airport.
Power, water, and natural gas. Fortunately, when we came to this building, they were all available and in ample supply, which is important.
We have 45 factories around the world in 39 different countries, and energy costs in the Lehigh Valley are actually very competitive.
We've lived here for 28 years now.
We actually broke ground here in Forks Township in the 70s and built our headquarters in the 80s, and we haven't looked back.
For us, it's been an easy transition, a great place to live, and we feel like we one-upped over where we came from, so that's a good feeling.
You just feel that vibrancy here more so than I felt anywhere else.
I don't think you could find a better place in the country.
So come on up, come on over, set up shop. We'd love to have you here.
Businesses in the Lehigh Valley are thriving, Paul, because of their commitment to quality.
That's right. Greg Ebert of Ebert Furniture Gallery in Allentown reminds us that small businesses are at the heart of our economy. I'm Greg Ebert. I own Ebert Furniture Gallery. Our main focus has always been on quality. You can come in, you can pick out exactly what you want. We do quite a bit with different fabrics, different leathers, different finishes. What I love is providing someone with solutions.
The beauty of working here is there is no sales pressure. I don't have any stress in my job. I don't have to make any numbers. Therefore, I can take that stress-free approach to my customers.
I was born and raised in Lehigh Valley. I knew that I always wanted to stay in the Lehigh Valley. I like the proximity between New York and Philadelphia, and I really can't see being anywhere else. I think fortunately I grew up, in my opinion, the best place in the country, so why would I want to leave? One of the best parts about this job, a lot of the customers actually become friends. I enjoy coming in here because I enjoy spending time with those people. What I found is you'll get one customer, you'll get their entire family, you'll get their friends, you'll get other people in their neighborhood. I'll have these families coming back, and again, it starts with one child and then another. That couch gets filled up pretty quickly. So again, it could be they're starting with one sofa, and by the time they're done growing their family, as in my case, it ends up with a pretty large sectional. The biggest sectional we've ever delivered is in my home. My wife, Rowie, and I have 6 kids and a dog. If it'll hold up in my house, I know it'll hold up in yours. We're selling a product that's gonna last. We don't have disposable furniture. Thank you for watching Lehigh Valley TV.
If you're like us and you can't get enough of Cork, check out our dish-covered Lehigh Valley TV segment at LehighValleyTV.com.
And while you're at it, see what else we're up to. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and like us on Facebook.
Now a special tribute to Pennsylvania State Police Trooper Alex Figueroa.
Is it time for dessert?
I think the word that probably best describes him is genuine.
Caring. He's caring.
Loyal. Contagious. You cannot be around Alex and be in a bad mood.
courageous.
Inspiring.
Obsessed. Obsessed with doing the right thing.
He comes to work ready to make a difference in people's lives. This guy's something else. This guy's something special.
I knew Alex wanted to be a trooper at a very young age.
When I was younger, our house got burglarized.
When I got home, my son explained to me that his most favorite possession at that time was his PlayStation. A couple hours later, the trooper came and he had his PlayStation and his games. Alexander was immediately mesmerized by this trooper who was his hero.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be a Pennsylvania State Trooper. I was like, that's it.
He would say to me, I'm gonna be a trooper one day. And I'd say, okay, yeah, you are.
There's really two things that stand out. One was actually a recorded phone call. The individual who called related that he had been pulled over and cited by Trooper Figueroa for a traffic violation, but he wasn't upset about it at all. And he was very complimentary of Trooper Figueroa. Even though he got a ticket, it was a positive experience for this guy. The second thing occurred just a few weeks ago. He organized state troopers going over to the pediatric cancer ward of a local hospital to just meet with the kids.
I watched Alex interact with the children, and it was as if he knew each one personally. He was able to relate, whether it was a high school kid or a grade school kid, and Alex is a big guy, but he was able to get down and smile with the kids, and to see him put a smile on their face that day really goes with everything that we say about Alex. I mean, he is genuinely a caring person.
He was a quiet, reserved kid, but he had the fire in his eyes. He had that rare maturity about him. He almost carried himself as a man before he was a man.
We had a rough life and we struggled, my children and I. I could tell you stories, but I'd start crying.
My mom is breaking her back every day working for me, so I want to make her proud. And that's what was my driving force, me saying I'm gonna be bigger than this.
His character, it pushes you to make yourself better, you know, and it's just hard to explain. He doesn't realize just how great he is.
He loves what he does, he's professional in what he does.
The reason that I mainly wanted to be a state trooper was to come back home and show kids that were sitting in the seats that I sat that they can do amazing things in their lives and be proud of it. There was a man with dementia, and he was lost, his wife was frantic.
You got a description of the guy and what he was wearing, and she said he had a white t-shirt on. And he happens to look out in the cornfield and see something white.
And he ran through the fields and through the marsh.
He performed CPR and saved this man's life.
EMS said that he probably wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for Alex.
Within another half hour, he might have been dead.
Alex, being the way that he is, he came back to the barracks, changed his uniform, and continued to patrol.
He only has 2 years on the job, and for him to have this track record already is very exciting. Imagine what he's going to accomplish in his career.